May I come in, sir?
Please come.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Please take your seat.
Thank you.
Deepsikha Doley.
Yes, sir.
Have we met earlier?
Sir, no.
No. Name sound familiar. So, tell us about yourself.
Yes, sir. I am from Tarun Nagar, sir, and I have done my bachelor's from Lady Shri Ram College for Women, Delhi University, and I have completed my master's in the month of September 2023 from JNU, New Delhi,
Masters in.
Political Science.
And what are your hobbies?
So my hobbies, like in free time, I like watching TV serials, and sometimes if I feel like being productive, then maybe I write articles.
Articles on what?
Usually social issues or anything that pricks my interest, even environment at times.
Okay. You've been staying in Guwahati for how long now?
Since my birth, sir.
You're born in Guwahati.
Yes, sir.
Tarun Nagar.
Chhatribari I was born. I stay in Tarun Nagar now.
Which part of Tarun Nagar?
Sir, near Rajiv Bhavan, Dona Planet.
Drona Planet.
Yes.
That's opposite to Rajiv Bhavan.
Yes, that's opposite to Rajiv Bhavan. Then there is Rajiv Bhavan. There are two lanes that go by. Straight, Glory Apartment.
Okay. And what have you been doing ever since you passed your Bachelor of Arts? No, you done masters.
Sir,
It's not mentioned here.
Sir, February form fill up hoise এই বছৰ আৰু মাৰ্চত আমাৰ মাৰ্কশ্বিট আহিছে proof. So মোৰ proof নাছিলে সেই সময়ত দেখাবলৈ যে মই MA কৰিছো এতিয়া আছে মোৰ তাত মাৰ্কশ্বিট
So 2023.
Septembeৰত I passed out. The result was declared.
তাৰপিছত first time এইটো first
হয় sir. First attempt.
and you've gone through both prelims and mains.
Yes.
How did you do in your mains?
So I think it was fine except GS5 paper sir যোনটো অসম চেন্ট্ৰিক আছিলে সেইটোত অকমান but I think others were fine.
Mm-hmm. So you feel confident?
I am quite 80-90% sure, but rest is like competitive exams are unpredictable, so we'll have to wait.
Okay. Let's see, start from Assam since you're in Assam.
Yes, sir.
Compared to the rest of the country, other states, how do you rank Assam? Where do you rank Assam economically?
Economically. Sir, economically, I think it still needs improvement.
My question is not whether it needs improvement or not. Where would you rank? Which rank would you put the tag of?
Moderate rank, sir. Moderate, low to moderate rank.
How many states are there?
So 28.
Out of 28, what will be Assam's number from top?
Sir, I think around 18, 17, 18, 19, between that.
Which according to you is good, bad, very good, very bad?
Sir, I think moderate. Moderate to improving.
Okay. So to take it to the top 5, which our Chief Minister keeps saying that we'll take Assam to the top 5, where will you like to invest? What would you like to do in Assam to take Assam on a rapid stride to the top 5?
Yes, sir. So firstly, I think a special economic zone in Northeast, especially in Assam, needs to be moved about. Second is infrastructure. Infrastructure must really be developed, especially the fast implementation of the projects under Act East policy. And then...
Are projects being done under Act East policy?
Sir, like not all of them. The major ones like IMT Koladan, but other than that, Assam Mala.
Kaladan is not in Assam.
Sir, no. Like I'm saying about the Act East projects all over in Northeast. Okay, I'm going to come to Assam now. So when we are talking about Assam Mala, for example, it should be expedited. It's already being done now. High-speed corridors are developed, but more projects. Like in Majuli, there is still like no proper roads, even if BPO has been opened. So that is one thing. Another is bureaucratic regulations should be eased so that it's easier for investments to come in, and easier allocation of land under Assam Land Industrial Policy, and growth of cold storage facilities so that food processing and agriculture get a fillip, and fisheries also. Apart from that, MSMEs under PM Vishwakarma, and now the government is really encouraging SHGs, so that's a very welcome step.
Okay. You said roads are not there in Majuli. When was Majuli formed as a district?
I'll have to go and look at that, sir.
The best answer is to say, sorry, sir, I don't know.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
And you talked about MSMEs. What is the status of MSMEs in Assam now?
So, in terms of MSME, I think we are still not very much like the saturation, like the penetration of MSME is still not very remarkable in Assam. It needs more work. We need to come up with more MSMEs in Assam.
The land policy. Do you think that policy is going to help local people or investors from outside?
So, can you repeat, sir?
You said we must have a land policy under which land can be given
Yes, sir.
at ease,
Yes, sir.
ease of doing business. If we hand over land for industries, is it going to help the local investors more or outside investors? Outside meaning outside Assam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think, sir, first of all, it's definitely going to attract the outside investors because they have more capital. So, if they get something incentivizing in Assam, then they are more likely to invest. And even the government is focused especially on encouraging foreign investors because that will leverage Assam's position as one of the key global states, matching that of Gujarat, Maharashtra, etc. Local investors also will come up, but might be it will take some more government incentives and time.
By then it may be too late.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So is that a good policy that there's no reservation for giving out land to local people?
So maybe the government.
Because it is contradictory. If you make it a reservation for local people, they may not have anything to invest.
Yes.
Land will lie fallow. It will go another 10 years without any activity. Whereas if you give it to an outsider, outsider meaning outside Assam, investor outsider, he might start working straight away. But the benefit goes to him. I'm not talking about foreign direct investment. That's a different ballgame. But between locals of Assam and outside, what would you prefer?
Yes, sir. So I think reservation, particularly of land for the locals, it is something that we cannot directly bring because that might incentivize the private sector, especially the foreign player, the outside players. And if outside players come, they're ultimately going to help Assamese local youth also, Assamese local people by creating employment, by creating opportunities for everyone else to grow. So local people will be happy that way. And reservations, sir, I think that will require some discussion, negotiation, and talking with the stakeholders involved because that otherwise can be detrimental in the long run, even though in the short run it will pacify people at the local level.
Do you think women should be given some special consideration in these matters for bringing up the women entrepreneurship?
Yes, sir. I definitely believe so.
What kind of?
So, for example, we have PM Mudra, under which 45,000 is given to women SHGs as a one-time grant so that they can come up with their own MSME. Because women...
With 45,000 rupees in today's world, what can you do?
So at least come up with papad factory, like something at the elementary level at least, small by small, step by step. So I think women really need some support because most of the times they're financially dependent on men. And even today, there are a lot of problems which one faces because of this intersectionality of class and gender. So if women can be given certain special relaxations, given from that point of view, then we can encourage women entrepreneurship. And as they say, the hands that rock the cradle rule the world. So the world will be economically flourishing and happier place. Women have money, they invest in education, health. So it is good from that perspective also.
Between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, whom do you prefer? Who should have, I mean, he's already won, but what are your preference?
So if I were to be I were to be asked to be given a personal preference, then I'll say Donald Trump, sir, because right now the world is engulfed in such a major war. And one of the election manifestos of Mr. Donald Trump was that when he comes, the war will end. And yesterday, the president said that now that Donald Trump has come, the war will end. He will not support us. And that gives a strong message that the peace that we were looking for, especially with regard to Ukraine war with Russia or with regard to Israel, where US is playing a proxy war. I think these things will see a change under his leadership.
You feel that Trump is aligned towards India's policies or Indian administration
Yes, I do feel that, sir.
because of media reports, or you genuinely have seen reasons?
I have seen that. Like, of course, there have been certain disagreements like GSP, but overall, 1+1 dialogue, the need to counter China in the Indo-Pacific, or the Quad, all these came up especially under Mr. Donald Trump's time.
So, taking a cue from what you are saying, do you think Donald Trump's friendship with India will help us getting over the problem of China breathing down our neck?
So at least we'll be able to put up a strong counter against China in the Indo-Pacific, where it is otherwise penetrating into countries like Southeast Asia and also Africa.
Why do you think Bangladesh problem took place?
So it was the anti-reservation movement that started in Bangladesh. And there the students protested the fact that around 70, if I'm not wrong, 70, 75, I might be mistaken here, sir, sorry, was reserved for the freedom fighters and women and some
That
disadvantaged.
is the basic thing that we know.
Yes.
Is there something behind this?
Yes, sir. So it's believed that somehow the opposition was involved in this particular movement.
What is the opposition coming under which banner?
Sir, I'll have to look at that, sir.
What is BNP?
Sorry, sir.
BNP?
Bangladesh Nationalist Party, I'm just guessing, sir.
Who heads that?
Right now, maybe Muhammad, I don't know, sir. I'll have to look.
This is not heading any political party.
Yes, I'll have to look at that, sir. The political.
Go ahead, what you're saying?
Yes, sir. So there is, of course, an involvement of external players also, it is believed, like US. So, of course, it has denied the claim, and political parties from the opposition. Because otherwise, when the Supreme Court scraped the reservation policy, it should.
So you also believe that this Bangladesh problem was created by US from the backside?
So it will be a little early for me to comment on that.
You said something which hinted at that.
Yes.
If that be the case, what friendship is US showing towards India?
So this is also something to do with the administration. Biden administration doesn't seem to be particularly very friendly with India, even though, of course, for countering China, it needs to maintain that relation. But we all know the kind of anti-Indian little feeling that Mr. Biden has with regard to India. And that is very clear from how it is supporting Canada with regard to the entire case of Khalistani and the Five Eyes Alliance. So it shows very clearly how friendly actually Biden administration is towards India.
Do you think the Assam villages have got sufficient, electricity, water supply, internet connections, etc., etc.? Is it good enough, sufficient to take Assam forward, even on the village front, or is it still lagging behind?
I think it is still lagging behind, because when I visited Majuli around 1.5 years back, I saw that people still do not have toilets despite Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Many of them do not yet have toilets. And internet connection is good in certain places, like upcoming places such as Dhemaji. But otherwise, there are still many areas which the government is therefore trying to promote under PM Wani scheme and Digital India. And in terms of water supply also, sir, I feel that connections are now definitely being developed under Jal Shakti Abhiyan. But there is still more that needs to be done with regard to villages in Assam.
Has enough justice being done to the tribals of Assam? How many tribes are there, major tribes?
So there are 29 tribes according to the 2011 census, out of which 14 are in plains and 15 are hill tribes.
Tell me about the top 5.
So from both
population-wise.
Yes, there is Bodo, number 1. Number 2 is Missing. Number 3 is Karbi. 4th and 5th, I do not know. Sorry, sir. I'll look into it.
Dimasa. Dimasa is one. What about the Rabas?
I'll have to look at their numbers, sir.
My question again back is, has justice been done to them entirely? There are still demands from many tribal groups. How many autonomous councils are there?
Sir, there are 6 autonomous councils and 1 under the 6th schedule, 3 under the 6th schedule, BTC, Karbi Anglo and Dimahasa.
How are they performing?
Sir, I think they have got powers, but in terms of performance, there is still need for improvement, sir.
There's a lot of news about corruption rampant in some of these places.
Yes, sir.
Do you believe that is true?
So definitely in institutions in India, there is no institution which we can say is corruption
Some
free.
of them are demanding that they should become autonomous in
Yes.
terms of, you know,
Yes,
getting
sir.
full powers.
Yes.
In which sectors, which particular issues that they want power?
So law and order, and under 244A, the fact that they're demanding something more powerful than just an autonomous district council like the Karbis, it shows that they want their own legislative assembly also. So they want something which is much more than what the ADC's existing framework provide to them.
What are the official languages in these places, autonomous councils?
Sir, in BTC, there is Boro, and Karbi Anglong and Dimahasa, there will be accordingly Karbi and Dimasa.
If you look at it on a universal platform, are they taking a right decision by doing this, or should they have been aligned with the original Assamese?
Sir, I think one's identity is incomplete without one's language.
No, that's fine. One's language is all right, but officially communicating with the rest of the world.
Yes. So a balance needs to be struck there. One must be open to integration with the mainstream while also keeping his roots intact. And this is very much better than forced assimilation. So one should learn one's tribal language, but at the same time, one should also be open to learning Assamese. Because ultimately, when we go outside Assam, our larger identity is in Assamese. And knowing multiple languages is what even the NEP has focused on for our holistic growth and development. So it's always
Why
better.
don't the Assamese go and learn these tribal languages?
Sorry, sir.
The Assamese have not been found very keen on going and learning these tribal languages, which led to, you know, cutting away of a lot of these places, even Meghalaya and all that.
So,
Do you call it hegemony? Do you call it unfounded pride that the Assamese have in then making this situation come about?
so I don't know if it would be right to call it hegemony in direct sense, but maybe because when one stays in a place where majority are Assamese speakers, there is this convenience and comfort that comes with speaking that language. So in that process, maybe they do not realize that other minority languages of the tribes are getting overshadowed, because there is this usual expectation also that they know the language. Like if you go outside, they expect that we know Hindi. So that time they don't realize that maybe we are not comfortable speaking in Hindi, but they expect us to know about it. So there we cannot say that they're doing it to establish their hegemony, but maybe it comes from a comfort and convenience level.
So it's okay by you that it's going on like this and Assam is getting fragmented day by day?
Sir, no. As long as the government, as it has shown by introducing 6 tribal languages recently in schools, including Missing, Dimasa, etc., it has shown that one must learn the tribal languages when one belongs to it.
Now that Assam or the Assamese languages got the status of a classical language, do you think it's going to make a difference? Those people will now like to come and learn Assamese and be Assamized.
So it depends. We cannot conclude directly, because ultimately one might still have that lineage towards one's own language, especially among the Boros. They have a very strong passion for the Boro language. But yes, if opportunities increase, if employment opportunities increase from that perspective for Assamese, then of course the youngsters, especially youth today, are very much good and comfortable in speaking both languages.
Okay.
You have done your graduation from Lady Sriram College.
Yes, sir.
Then post graduation from
JNU.
JNU. So why do you want to become part of the Assam Civil Service? Or are you planning to appear in the UPSC also?
Yes, sir. I in fact appeared for UPSC this time, but in my CSAT I couldn't fare well. But I'm intent on applying for it again. That's my final aim. But sir, ultimately I feel that APSC or UPSC, competitive examinations that enable me to serve the society and bring a positive impact, I'm open to all of that. And competitive examinations, sir, are very unpredictable.
Just one sec. Your first desire is to serve the people, not to get a good service or not. That is not important. A job is not important thing. That's the next priority.
Yes, sir.
Serving the people is your main priority.
Yes, serving the people.
So why don't you open up an NGO and start doing it, because you are so...
Right. So in a government job like ACS, the government will give me resources and manpower. But if I start an NGO, First of all, I will have to be capital adequate. Next is resource mobilization. Everything needs to be done by me.
So that means getting the job is more important. No?
So no, getting the right platform is important.
But platform is what? Is a government job only, no?
Yes.
Government security only. The security is not important, promotion is not important. Simply the platform is important as per you.
So I think that if we just go after these benefits, then our ability to persist for 5 years, 4 years for a competitive examination, it will die out. This added security gives us confidence that when we are working, we will have some comfort, we'll have a roof over our head. But the desire to serve people, ultimately, it is what is going to make us good civil servants, not just enter it.
What do you think? The reputation of bureaucracy, is it very high in our nation? Or even in USA, you have talked so much about the USA. What is the status of a bureaucracy in USA? Who is more important? Who is on the top in the USA? Any idea?
So I don't, sorry sir, I don't.
Academicians. What about
Teachers are considered to be higher than bureaucrats in
Bureaucrats,
USA
yeah.
and most developed countries.
But coming to the point, the contribution of the bureaucrats, their reputation, their work culture, what do you think of the present generation of the bureaucrats and all?
Sir, I think more or less red tapeism and corruption still plague bureaucracy. And that's because many people enter the service because of the status and power they desire from this job, more than public service. And that is where if we can have youth who are really mobilized by the spirit of public service and who are given effective training under PM Karma Yogi, for example, they can be change bearers.
You are now generalizing it. You are condemning all other persons. Is it good?
Sir, I hope my tone didn't sound like that.
You think that you are the only one?
So no, definitely there are many people, but the majority is inclined towards corruption. And that is why when people go to offices,
Do they join the service to make money? Is it so? Like the way you were saying that most of the people are joining service just to make money.
so not all, but definitely the fact that there is widespread corruption, people go to offices, the old people wait in line, but they're not.
So what action government should take to curb corruption?
So whistleblowing mechanism must be strengthened. And Central Vigilance Commission also needs to expedite the cases. That is another thing. Plus, for officers who are honest, there should
Corruption
be
is
more-
not a new phenomenon. It is going on for a very long time.
Yes.
Why government is not able to take action quickly, expeditiously against the corrupt officials?
So because of
Have they done something in last 10 years?
so whistleblowing mechanisms have now been encouraged.
Like what? Any measures have they taken?
So I'll have to go and look at that, sir.
Have you heard a act called Benami Act? Benami Property Act?
Yes, sir, I have heard.
Disproportionate Asset Act?
No, sir.
Disproportionate this thing? Assets? Not heard of that?
So
You should check up that.
yes, I will surely, sir. I'll go and do that. Yes. That is the whistle.
But one problem, looking at this thing, others also, you should first listen to the board, listen to the members, then only you should answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you heard of the recent Supreme Court judgment related to Assam?
Yes, sir.
Any idea on that?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Yes, sir. So we have Section 6A of the Assam Accord, and the Supreme Court has basically validated that particular cutoff date of January 1, 1966 to 25th March 1971, which was being questioned through a petition.
25th March or 24th March?
25th March, sir.
24th March.
So I checked twice in the internet. I'll still go and check it, sir. I saw 25th March, sir.
25th March. Those who come up to 25th March
Yes, sir.
or 24th March?
25th it was written. I will still.
No, you are wrong.
Okay, sir. All right. Apologies, sir.
What is the provision for those who come on or after 25th of March?
So they'll be detected, sent to Foreigners Tribunal, and accordingly dealt with.
And those who come before 1st January 1966?
They get citizenship, sir.
And otherwise, what is our Citizenship Act say? What is the cutoff here as per that?
Sir, all India level.
Citizenship Act is Citizenship Act. Don't ask whether it's all India or
So I
Assam.
think it's 1950, something, I forgot, 1950s.
1951.
1951, yes, sir.
That's for the, how many states are there in India?
So 28 states.
And Assam is one of them.
Yes, sir.
So what is the cutoff for the other 27 states?
So 1951.
So what do you think? Is not it discriminatory?
Sir, can I state the Supreme Court judgment here as to what?
Now, what is your personal view? You can justify.
All right. So I feel that this cutoff date is justified because we cannot suddenly disenfranchise so many people who have been getting citizenship otherwise. Yes, there is a concern about the impact it can have. Why should Assam suffer disproportionately in its culture, demography? But ultimately, sir, we need to understand that human rights also must be balanced with our cultural concerns. And in no way, sir, a cutoff date can actually impact our culture so much because...
What do you think? We should allow Rohingyas to come in? You are said about the human rights, human compassion. We should open our borders.
Sir, there is a limit to how much we can...
I just wanted to, as an extension of what you're asking, this problem you're mentioning about human rights, because so many people are disenfranchised. What about West Bengal?
What about, sir?
West Bengal. Didn't these people also go to West Bengal?
Yes, sir.
Well, why is it 51 for West Bengal and 71 for us?
Sir, they're more likely to come to Assam.
We are not talking about probabilities. We are not talking about more likely. We are only talking about ground realities.
Sir, because it was a part of an international agreement. I think at that time when India helped East Pakistan in the war, it announced internationally that we will give citizens...
Did they come only to Assam or didn't they go to Bengal? They also went to Bengal, so many.
Yes, but in Assam, the problem was peculiarly felt because they have been outnumbering, like at the verge of outnumbering the local people and the local Assamese culture. And that has not been the case in Bengal because they're Bengalis ultimately.
So they should have allowed all to go to Bengal only. So there is no challenge to that. If your logic is, we accept to that, there would have been no conflict if more and more people who have come from Bangladesh go and settle in Bengal. Why should they come to Assam? Then the conflict rose, no?
Yes, sir.
So we could have done that also. Anyway, there is a Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019. What is that?
So that allows those who have suffered persecution on religious ground, such as Christians, Hindus, Parsis, Sikhs, Jains from Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh, provided they enter India before 31st December 2014 to get citizenship.
So again, Assam will suffer. Now from 71 it shifted to 2014. What do you think?
So that's a very grey area. And the only thing we can keep in mind...
No, let's give your opinion. Whether CAA is good for Assam, bad for Assam, and if it is good, why good? If it is bad, why bad?
So, I think we need to take a balanced stand here. I will not say it's directly good or bad because our problem is that we have become too culturalist, sir. That interstate migration has also come a threat. If that becomes a perspective of being Assamese, forgetting the macro identity of being an Indian, it comes a threat. But at the same time, if the borders are still left open like this, if there is no proper mechanism to guard the borders, illegal immigrants will keep on coming. And if there is no securitizing of the...
You are talking about later stage. We have talked about cut-off days. Anyway, how many districts are there in Assam?
35 districts, sir.
Can you name the districts on the northern bank of Brahmaputra, east to west?
Jorhat, east to west, sir. I will...
On the northern bank.
Yes, sir. Jorhat.
Jorhat in which bank?
On northern bank?
Northern bank. Maybe Lakhimpur, not Lakhimpur. So I'll have to look at that.
Because you are going to join the Assam Civil Services now, so you should know, have a good knowledge.
Sir, yes.
Your schooling was done in where?
Gurukul Grammar Senior Secondary School.
Which place?
Gitanagar.
Gitanagar.
Yes.
You can write Assamese?
Yes, sir. I can.
You read some Assamese magazine or newspaper?
I can read, but I'm not reading as of now, sir.
You're not reading. Okay. Can you tell us some important development that has taken place relating to Assam in last 2 months?
In last 2 months? One is the classical language status, Drupadi language, that has been bestowed to Assamese. Another is-
Bestowed or restored?
So it has been given.
I heard restored. So I said,
So what were the criteria?
So there are three criteria major. One, it has to be at least 1500 to 2000 years old. Another is it must be distinguishable from its the current forms. And third is it must have a rich repository of language, literature.
Okay, one is there. Okay, what else comes to your mind last 2 months?
Yes, sir. Another is recently the Boros had a festival which represented the Boros at a national level in Delhi. It was just 1 or 2 days back, inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister.
Any very important government schemes launched last 2 months?
Bosundhara scheme, sir. Bosundhara scheme has been in the news, but it has become like more in the news in the last 2 months.
Why do you say so? I didn't ask you all these comments. That's called Basundhara. What number?
Sir, 4.0 will come now.
3.0.
4.0 will also come, I think, sir.
Has it come?
So it will come, 4.0.
Has it come?
No, sir.
He didn't ask you what is likely to
What
come.
has been launched now? It is Mission Basundhara 3.0 is going on now. So what is that Basundhara scheme?
Sir, it's basically to give land patta to the people so that when people don't have ownership of their lands, it becomes difficult for them to get loans or to take any loan on the basis of mortgage or collateral. So now the 3.0 is going to focus on villages which have 100% ST, SC population.
Okay. And any other scheme relating to women?
Yes, sir. Mukhyamantri Mahila Udyamita Abhiyan. Then we have Lakhpati Baidev.
Do you have detailed idea about
Yes,
this?
yes.
What is that? Can you tell us?
Mukhyamantri Mahila Udyamita Abhiyan. So to enable women to earn 1 lakh annually, the aim is to give them 35,000 in 3 batches. First is 10,000 and then the second and third in 12,500 rupees each. And if we talk about Lakhpati Baidev, it's a actually national level scheme named Lakhpati Didi. The aim is there to enable self-help groups among women earn 1 lakh annually and that to 35,000. So
Anything called Mukhyamantri Nijut Maina? Heard
Yes.
of that? What is that?
So it is aimed to reduce the dropout rate among girls and also encourage higher education among them. So 1,000 rupees will be given in classes 11 and 12, then 1,500 in bachelors and 2,500 in masters.
And what is the second objective? One objective you said.
Child marriage.
Is a student studying in postgraduate is a child?
So no, even if they are married, they're allowed to.
No, out there you are wrong. You know so much, but don't do these silly mistakes. One is that, enhancing the enrollment of girls. Secondly is that, okay, child marriage also, and prevent early marriage. So they cannot get married. If they get married, they will not get this stipend. Anyway,
Do you think like this schemes specific to women which have been implemented recently, do you think according to you there should be also some condition attached to it or they should simply give away the money? Do you think this will actually reduce the drop rate or what is the basic goal behind it? Do you think some conditions should be attached?
Yes, sir. So for Mukhyamantri Mahila Udyamita Abhiyan, there are already conditions attached.
I'm talking about the scholarship.
Nijut Moina.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So maybe we can bring about a condition like they need to get a certain percentage. Say, if they get just 45% in class 12, maybe then in bachelor's.
Forget about the percentage. What about the minimum requirement of attendance?
Yes, sir. That is another very wonderful thing which can be done.
Do you think it should be done according to
Yes, definitely, sir.
As an administrator, do you change the policy? Can you change the policy?
No, sir. We can suggest.
Okay. Second thing I wanted to ask you during this discussion, like you talked about whistleblowing, and there was also discussion going on regarding citizenship amendment and everything. Suppose you were an administrator during the 1980s in Assam, okay, when
Yes.
the IMDT Act was implemented since 1984 to 2005, I suppose. So, first I want to hear from you whether the enactment of IMDT Act specific to Assam was right or wrong according to you? And if it was right or wrong, whatever it is according to you, how happy would you have been in implementing or executing that act as an administrator posted at that time in Assam?
Sorry, sir, but I will have to go and study about IMDT because right now I don't know much about it.
Is it still in vogue?
So,
Is this act still in vogue?
I don't have much information, sir, about it. I'll go and look at it, sir.
Okay, like if I tell you,
Yes,
like
sir.
there was a special provision specific to Assam that if anyone is identified as a foreigner or illegal immigrant, then the onus of proving that person will be on the complainant.
Okay.
But for the rest of the part of a country, it was guided by Indian Foreigners Act 1946, where the person who is identified or who is detected as an illegal immigrant, that person has to prove that he is or not an Indian citizen or not. So, with this knowledge,
Yes.
do you think it was right for Assam or wrong for Assam at that particular situation?
So, I think we cannot say directly right or wrong, but I would say here I have a very neutral position, sir. If I can elaborate on that, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So when we talk about the burden being on the informant, then say we know that this person is an illegal immigrant, a Bangladeshi. But does it assure that we also have document to verify a claim? Who will believe us? Whether we'll get enough support or not? So while it's an opportunity, if we have the right evidence, but then the entire onus comes on us, which can be taxing. So, sir, I think...
Will anyone come forward to complain after that?
So definitely there will be people who will be concerned. We're not the only ones.
The question is not that. See, they made an exception for Assam. I think if I understand, you see, for the rest of the country, the onus was on that particular person, the illegal immigrant or the foreigner. But for the Assam, they made it the person who had complained. Is it fair? Like again, the question comes.
Yes, sir. With my limited knowledge, I feel that it's not very fair because...
So, as an administrator, can you change at the policy level? Can you do something?
So, I don't think I can change that because...
We were also discussing about the Assam Accord and everything. You were very much well aware about this. Currently, there has been a discourse that Barak Valley specifically should be omitted from this. What is your opinion on that? If Barak Valley is eliminated, there will be the indigenous community of Barak Valley who will be the ones who will be like who will suffer mostly.
Yes.
What is your opinion on this?
So, first of all...
Do you know who is the indigenous crowd there? From which tribe?
So, no, sir. Maybe...
Okay. There are the Masas, there are Manipuris, there are Khasi, Jaintias, Garos,
Right, sir.
and they will be the most suffered ones.
Yes, sir.
So, what's your stand on this?
So, first of all, a consultation with the people at the local level and the representatives of these minority communities, the tribals, the indigenous.
They have been always suppressed, either by the Muslims or by the Hindu Bengalis.
Right. So, if the government appoints its own machinery and mechanism to ensure fair representation from both the sides and becomes a neutral arbiter.
What is your opinion on this? Should it be implemented or not?
Definitely, it should be implemented.
But the government is saying it won't be. Can you do some changes at the policy level as an administrator?
So we can try to suggest, but we can't bring
You can't.
anything.
So coming back to your first statement, why you want to join the civil services, or what is like you said, like whether it is IAS at IAS level or at ACS level, it doesn't matter for you. You just want to join the platform,
Yes.
which we're justifying that you want to create the change for the people. But in this platform, you're not able to change anything. Why don't you go and join politics then?
So that's exactly the point. In politics, we can change all this. As an IAS, the change can be brought more in terms of delivery
But
of
you
policies.
only said like we discussed about 3 policies,
yes.
and you said like our hands are tied here.
Yes.
It's bound. Like we are
Yes,
not
sir.
able to do
Yes,
any
sir.
change at the policy level. So
Yes, sir. So I think to bring change, what I meant was not change in each and every sphere. In that case, we'll have unlimited number of spheres. But a bureaucrat is not such a powerful mechanism to
So
intervene
you
into
just
each and
want to
everything.
change at a minimum level, not at the broader
So at
level.
the societal level, what about hospitals not being there in Majuli and people having to wait for a boat to come so that,
Can you bring in a new hospital in Majuli as an administrator?
so if we improve the roads and bring a PHC, if we bring telemedicine, why
So
not,
can you
sir?
bring one?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Is it a decision taken by the commissioner at Majuli,
Sir,
or by
definitely.
the local MLA or the MP of Majuli?
So I can say this thing that he can have an important role in enabling this, in making this happen as DC. That is sure.
What's your opinion on Majuli not getting the UNESCO World Heritage Site till now, since it's a fight since almost 2 decades?
So I think it's a sad thing for us.
Do you think Majuli is actually eligible to get that?
So I don't have much information on the eligibility, but given that it's the, it's such
Why are
a
you not
popular
concerned
thing.
about Majuli?
Sir?
Why are you not that concerned about Majuli?
So it's not that I'm not concerned, but in terms of the eligibility which is required,
There are, I think, 10 eligibility
Yes.
criteria under that.
yes, and I think we have to
UNESCO.
fulfill any one.
Yes.
So in case Majuli stands to any one of those eligibility criteria and it deserves it, then definitely that has been a wrong doing on the part of UNESCO to not give this
Why do you think
status.
then the bureaucrats or the commissioners who were posted in Majuli for so long did not do it?
With regard to the UNESCO thing?
Yes.
So I have no much idea on that.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, now we had a interesting session with you, Deepsikha.
Thank you.
Some observations that we'll have to make. This is your first attempt,
Yes, sir. This
and in your first attempt, you're going to the interview.
Yes.
You have not done any mock interview earlier.
Mock interviews I have done in SPM, sir,
And
and Bhadra IS.
okay, were there any? I'm not concerned about who said it, but were there any remarks on your method of answering questions?
Yes, yes.
What was it?
First was speed. They commented on the fact that I speak very fast. So that is something I've improved on. I've tried to. And the second thing is that they said that sometimes I become debatable. So like my tone becomes as if I'm teaching in a class. So they've said that. In the initial second or third mock, they said that. So that is one thing they said. And also Assam knowledge on my part was not very strong. So in the last 3 days, I have tried to brush up on all the things related to Kamrup, Metro and Assam. But I still have noticed with Sir's wonderful suggestion that I need to know the places from east to west, north bank, south bank. That way I have to study, sir, now. Yes.
Let me give you some of the observations which I have. Maybe they'll agree or not agree with me. First and foremost, you must understand this is not a knowledge testing interview.
Right, sir.
It is a personality test.
Right, sir.
That you must, I hope you know that. It's a personality test. And personality basically comprises 2 things. One is the physical, the other is the inner personality. The physical part is how you look, what dress you have worn, how well groomed you are, your eye contact with people, and very importantly, your voice, your mode of speaking, and whether you are nervous or not.
Okay.
These are things that can be seen as a physical trait. And the other is the inner one. Inner one is your total reservoir of knowledge about your own place, about Assam, about India, about the world, about the cosmos, whatever.
Yeah.
And more importantly, though I'm saying that knowledge is not, it is not a knowledge test, but without knowledge you cannot have a personality. But more importantly, the views that you have and how you frame your views and how you place them before the board. How is an important word, how, not what.
Yes.
In this, I see some little cracks in how you're doing it.
Yes, sir.
Firstly, apart from being fast, you're fast even today, you are very idealistic in certain matters. Where you see that you're not able to give, when I also asked you about opinions, you're not able to give opinions. You are looking for the exit route somewhere in between and you're quietly slipping out. Don't mind my saying it because you are going for the interview, you're a good candidate.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying it. Please take care of these things.
Yes.
If you don't have an opinion, you say, sir, I don't know.
Okay.
You hardly ever said, sir, I don't know. You only said, I have to look into that, I have to look into that. There are a number of things which you don't know. You should say, no, I don't know, sir. If you don't have an opinion, sir, I have no opinion on this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have no opinion. You could have, in fact, said that it is a Supreme Court order. I have no particular opinion on mine.
All right.
That would have sounded better. But you tried to justify something without having a proper base of it. You see, you know the difference between pedagogy and demagogy?
So, no.
Pedagogue is one who teaches. Demagogue is one who talks to people trying to convince them.
Right.
Pedagogue is he gets his knowledge, information from books, from other sources. Demagogy is the capability to speak on and on to convince people whether it's right or wrong. If you can stick to pedagogy, it's fine. Please don't go for demagogy. He, in fact, at the end, he asked you also, why didn't you join politics? See, as a civil servant, if you're not able to do it, you're not able to do it.
Yes.
Your first thing itself, you said that you stuck to it, that you want to be only doing public service, that you're not concerned about the job. You went on to say that people get corrupt because they only look for the good job and for their own benefits. That's a wrong perception of people wanting to come to civil services. Some people get spoiled, that's different.
Yes.
Maybe circumstances spoil them, maybe politicians spoil them, maybe their own children spoil them. But people who come in to join civil services do not come with the intention of making money. He asked you point blank, do you think they come to make money? You gave the impression that only those people who say that they want to do public service, they are the good people, the others are not good people. You give that impression. Please do not. Don't take such extremist views that only public service you want to do. And that's why you have come for the interview. No. I still think your honest answer in the heart of hearts is that you want a good job.
So I said that in an interview and they clearly instructed me, don't talk about stability.
There you are, see.
I have been instructed in 2 interviews, sir, like that.
Honesty does not depend on what other people told you. Honesty is what comes from within. Now tell me an honest answer. What is your honest answer?
So first is, of course, I want to be in a field where I'm in contact with the people, grassroots. And second is, sir, job stability.
First priority is what? You have been trying hard for this job, for this exam. Why? Because you want, everybody in this world wants his tomorrow to be better than his today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not wrong?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
That means everybody in that way is selfish, if you want to call him selfish. But being in a position where I want to be better tomorrow than today is not wrong. It's an honest thing. It's a very honest thing. If you're doing that without harming others, you're doing the right thing on this earth.
Yes, sir.
You're justifying your life, that you want to do good things. So where is the harm in saying that I want a good service? I want a service which will give me good career. It will give me social recognition so that I can do public service.
Okay, right, sir. Yes, sir.
You see the difference between saying public service and thereafter the job, and saying that I want this so that I can do public service. Get my point?
Yes.
Honest answer?
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
So please try to correct yourself to those.
Yes, sir.
And you have very strong views, or maybe you think you're in an interview, you have to show strong views. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Sometimes you're using terms which are giving very strong views. You sound idealistic. Idealistic is not good for an interview all the time. You must have an opinion. When he talked about this 1951, 1971, when I pointed out to you that even West Bengal had the same problems, then why 1951 for everybody else, even West Bengal, and why not for Assam? Okay. There you brushed aside the other side and said that no, this is 71 and the circumstances are different. There are so many people in Assam, whereas you are actually contradicting yourself. You're saying that so many people came into Assam, creating problems for the Assamese people, even the linguistic problems. This didn't happen to West Bengal. Then, ideally, they should have been sent to West Bengal. Don't create problems because you have similar language there. But you have come here and created problems. So, you have contradicted yourself by saying it's right and yet saying it's wrong.
Yes, sir.
So, be careful about what opinions you make.
Yes, sir.
Do not have to take extreme sides. Always give, but then while being in the middle lane, you should not look for exit routes. You should give your opinion properly. And if you do not have an opinion, say, sir, in this case, I don't have an opinion. Or I feel that since this is sub judice, or since this is,
Supreme Court has given the decision. I have not thought about.
Decision is there.
I have not thought about.
So I have not thought about saying anything else.
All right. Yes, sir.
That will be more mild, and do not go so aggressive. You are very aggressive in your answers.
Yes, sir.
An interview board does not necessarily have to get impressed by aggression. It will go more by your personality. How even, sir, sorry, I do not know the answer to this. There's a way of saying it. If you say it nicely, properly, it's a positive point. It's not negative. Instead of trying to guess, you have often guessed things and which have not come correct. Instead of trying to guess a thing which you do not know and giving a wrong answer, it is better to say, sorry, sir, I don't know this. Because that's an honest answer.
Yes.
At least it has the honesty.
Yes.
That I don't know. Mind you, there's nobody in this world who knows everything. There's nobody in this side of the panel who knows everything. So on that side of the panel, you are there. You also may not know everything. How does it matter? Not knowing is not negative, but how you say it very important. And with a lot of respect for the panel, he pointed out one thing to you, that even before he finished, you start talking. Your enthusiasm is appreciated, but over enthusiasm is not appreciated by the board. These are things I am telling you only so that you can correct yourself.
Yes. Yes.
If you are able to answer a question because you know it, answer it. If you are not able to answer a question because you do not know, say, sorry, sir, I don't know. And if you are in a third position where you think you know but you are not sure, then you say, sir, I think I know this answer, but I am not sure. I may be wrong also and I may be right also. I do not know. So if you permit, I will answer. Very politely. Then he has two options. One option is to say, no, I don't want your answer. The other option is to say, okay, go ahead. 99% will say, go ahead. Because he wants to hear what you want to say. He has already found out that you are intelligent and therefore you have passed on the onus to him. Just like the Foreigners Act and IMDT. You have passed on the onus of saying whether you should answer or not to him instead of you are taking the risk. You have avoided the risk. So he tells you, okay, say, tell your answer. So when he says tell your answer, he knows that you have already said you may give a wrong answer.
Yes.
He has accepted that. So he will not give you a negative for a wrong answer, but give you a +1 for a positive answer. Understand these nuances of an interview. You don't have to get aggressive to prove your point. Sometimes if you say you don't have a point and say it politely, even that gives a positive answer. Okay. My readings are these. If you agree with me, I don't know. So these are, I thought I must tell you because the first interview you are coming for. And again, lastly, when people say this is a wrong answer, this is very bad. Oh, you should never say about your job. You should only talk about public service. Take your own call. Ask yourself whether I am giving an honest answer or not. If I want only to go for public service and therefore I've come for this, am I being honest? Because there's a possibility tomorrow you have bifurcated the two types, stereotypes. One is that class who want to go into public service, and the other who have only wanted their own jobs so that they are opportunists.
By the way, I just want to ask, your father belongs to which place? Comes from originally from which place?
Lakhimpur, sir.
North Lakhimpur. So you must know about North Lakhimpur. Which part of North Lakhimpur?
Sir, there is this place, I'm
You have never been there,
sir, only twice, thrice, like very, very limited times.
but you must know about your community and all these things and all. No? So take care of that because you have been outside for a very long time. That's why I asked you a very simple question. So you brush up your knowledge about Assam and all, and other things he has explained very this thing.
No, I'm only talking about the nuances of attempting an interview. I'm now not talking about what answer should have been for which one. So if you can correct these, you are a very good candidate, very promising candidate, but some corrections are required here. And again, my last point which I was trying to complete is when you answer a question, if you have got 3 different versions, ask yourself which is the honest version.
Okay, sir. Yes.
Okay?
When is your interview date?
22nd.
In a second. Okay. I think, sir, like you talked about, like someone has told you like to reduce your speed or something like that.
Yes.
So I personally believe like you don't have to work in that sector.
No, now is no time to.
Because there is no time, because you will be unnecessarily, like you will feel like, okay, I need to control this, and your answers might get impacted. Okay,
Yes, sir.
negative.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know about sir and Nipa sir, but I personally think like your speed was comfortable for us to understand, and that is it. Okay.
Yes.
Regarding the other part that I wanted to share is like somewhere I felt that her concern, though she is appearing for the state ACS, the amount of knowledge she has undoubtedly, like even in the answer, like where she was talking about West Bengal and Assam, and there was a comparison. You were, I felt like you were favoring more to to the other state rather than favoring to your own state. And even if you do that, there's no right or wrong. Okay, but then the thing is, like when you were questioned about the knowledge of Assam, definitely your knowledge was lacking somewhere.
Yes,
okay,
yes, it
in
is.
maximum
It
of
is.
the part. So
Yes.
there again, like you are favoring another state, provided like you are very comfortable with your own state, you know everything, you are very thorough with it, then you can do it obviously. But not knowing about your own state and like taking a stand, an extreme stand
Yes.
somewhere there. Also, like we can also go into a debate of ideology there.
Yes.
All right. So don't go into that unnecessarily.
Yes, I'll keep
I
that in
hope you
mind.
understand what
Yes.
my point is.
Yes.
Okay. So I think that might bring some. I might be wrong, sir. You may correct.
No, you're correct.
There like like some negative parts can
Yes,
come up in your
okay.
interview marks. I don't know how your mains have been. Obviously,
Decent.
it is good, right?
Except GS5 where it was all
Again,
Assam paper.
see GS5. You're-
So yeah.
No, it's fine. Now again, don't take so much of stress in improving your Assam. But hardly there are 3-4 days left for your interview. So just
Be your natural self. Be your natural self.
So,
yes.
But you can always keep under control your aggression.
yes. So it shows, right? It shows.
It shows
Yeah.
that you would have been a very good debater in your college days, but which is not required to show in front
Yes,
of the
it comes. I have been trying to
understand.
control, but it comes.
So I asked you the difference between pedagogy and demagogy.
Yes, yes. So I have few questions. Can I ask you?
Yeah.
So that day in an interview, I was being suggested that never say I do not know. Always say I will read about it. Give positive feeling. So since then I have been saying, sir, I will go and look into it.
Which means the suggestion was you never say I don't know. Give whatever guess I can do and go away with it. Is that the meaning?
I said I will go and look at it. Just say this. Don't say I don't know.
I don't think that's an honest answer.
No.
They were even.
I don't know who said it to you. Maybe he's much more knowledgeable than us. But we have our own views. Our own views are that I do not know, sir. Sorry, I do not know, sir. It's an honest answer.
Yes, sir. That is so honest.
You don't know. It understood. Obviously, you
You
go
have
back
to go and
look
look at it. You will get to know then also. But why say go and look at it? Simply say, sir, at this moment I don't know this. I have forgotten this is also okay. I knew, but I
I
forgot.
think I read about it. I have forgotten about it.
Yes, sir.
And the amount of limited knowledge that I have and facing so many candidates and also like in this particular situation, like if you can be very much humble and honest, that is very much appreciated.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to show yourself that you're over smart and like, okay, I will look at it.
Yes.
Or you know
Everyone can-
everything.
Yes.
Everyone can look at
Yeah.
it.
One of them can think that it's an attitude she's showing. Why?
They have scolded me that day for just saying that I'm sorry, I don't know. Why are you being so negative? Just be positive. Say, I will go and read it. That day I got such a sound scolding, I thought that, no, this thing I'll improve on. I'll say, I will go and look at it. That's why I was constantly saying that 3-4 times.
How does it matter? After you walk out of the room, will they check back? Has she gone and looked at it?
So I thought it was this one suggestion, but I'll now correct that.
No, we are not blaming anybody. The call is yours. My only request is please at that point of time you think which is an honest answer.
Yes, sir. Honest. Yeah.
Honesty is very important.
Yes, sir. And also when you asked about the Assam Accord thing, the dates, sir, I was in that mindset where I thought I need to justify the Supreme Court judgment. So let me justify that. Even though inside me the Assamese was saying something else, but I thought let me be very formal in the...
Out there, you see, one is we were not factually very correct. Date was wrong.
yes.
24th and 25th.
24th.
It says very clearly on or after. That means 25th is included as not a citizen.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
So we should be factually correct. Then, when we ask you to give your opinion, give your honest opinion, a balanced opinion. That's all. Or cut it short. So the Supreme Court has given a judgment. Well, I have not looked into it. I have not thought about it. Here and there. Good enough. They will accept that. One doesn't have to know everything.
You talk in favor of people staying in West Bengal, but you could not talk in favor of indigenous community of Assam who is staying in Paraguay.
Yes, sir.
It has to be balanced.
Yeah.
If you're favoring there, you should be also very much aware about it.
And you see, don't think, no, we also know. They will try to provoke you also.
Yes, sir.
To keep this thing cool. Do not try to over-justify. You keep your cool.
And should we take a balanced position that thinking only about the Assamese people, or should we be like just simply say, sir, Supreme Court has looked into it? What should be
A
better?
balanced position is good provided the method of your expression is acceptable.
So can you tell me 1-2 lines, how should I present this with regard to balanced position, the cutoff date?
He already told you what we said.
So,
They may not ask you these questions we have asked you. Ours are just indicative. They could ask you on any subject, anything. Only the approach we are talking about.
He asked you something about your opinion. He repeatedly asked you, tell us your opinion, your opinion. You only said, that's sad. Do you remember you said, that is sad. That's not an opinion. That's not an
And you
opinion.
should not comment like that way.
so could I have said that this is very unfair, something as strong as that? Or would have been
No, you're not asked to give whether it's fair or not. You're asked to give your opinion about whether this was to be done or it was not to be done, whether it's good or bad.
simply one line, I'll just sum it up then. It is bad that it's not been given yet. All right. And so some questions are
It's unfair sometimes. You should not be very emphatic. No? It prima facie looks, but the Supreme Court has own reason.
Evolving everything. This part has been evolving specifically for Assam, specifically because of the Assam Andolan movement. There are so many changes brought out in here, right?
yes.
So, but the irony which you cannot tell seeing the interview is like we the Assamese people never read. Okay, the people who led at that time period, they were not well read. They didn't even read the Assam Accord properly, and they simply signed it. Okay, so now you cannot take the blame in front of the interview panel for people who have done the mistakes. Okay,
Yes.
so now it is up to you how you can justify the situation.
yes.
They're not asking you to take the onus that you have to go back in 1980s and correct. You cannot,
Yes.
right? You were not there at that time. But now, what is your opinion and how maybe if you could have been there, but you could have done it in a different way, that you can say, obviously. If it is asked, obviously. If it is not asked, don't say.
Yes, sir. So also they ask a lot of questions about why ACS over APS. Why should we select you? What should be the answer for these questions, sir? Like I'm giving answers, but they are like, they've brought further to no examples.
Tell me, what do you think is the answer for this? Why should we select you?
So I have leadership and I have compassion. I think these two qualities, then they brought me further by asking me, show me an example where you have shown leadership.
The question was what?
Why should we select you?
No, you said ACS or APS, something like that.
Yes. Also another question, why ACS over APS?
So what is the answer to that?
Yes, sir. So because ACS has more scope of work, the diversity of work that ACS provides, APS does not have that because it is more limited to law and order, policing and crime. Unlike ACS, which is more about so many diverse works like health, education, nutrition, environment, women.
Don't give such a long answer. You said diverse. That's good enough. They will
Diverse
understand.
is good enough, and if you were to add, you can add, sir, with my disposition, I think I'm more suited to ACS.
So,
Disposition. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm more suited to APS, so I go for only what is suited to me, no?
Yes, sir. And for this question, sir, which qualities, leadership and compassion, they ask further examples.
Leadership, compassion, and integrity. Integrity is a very important thing for civil service.
Yes.
Some people use the term honesty for integrity, but official terms in civil services, integrity is the term we use. In forms also, when you fill, it is the integrity you fill. You don't fill honesty. Is he honest? Is never a question which is asked. Does he have integrity?
Sir. So with regard to hobbies also, I'm so sorry, sir, I'm bombarding you with questions.
problem.
Just 2-3 more questions.
We are there to help you.
Yes, sir, thank you. So with regard to hobbies, like for example, I have this hobby of watching TV and another is free time I write articles. So what are the questions I should prepare on beforehand?
Watching TV, the first question that will come is, what kind of programs do you watch?
Yes. Can I say Tarak Mehta, TV serials like?
And then Tarak Mehta's the whole history of that. How many episodes have come so far? It has the thing of being the longest serial ever. All those details you must know. If you know them, fine. Who is the hero? What's his name?
many characters.
Characters. And about writing articles, that is a much wider thing. What articles do you write? On what basis? On what topics?
What, have you published where?
Yes, sir. Those. So should I not transgress in that and just say watching TV because they might just.
I always suggest to candidates that because hobby is one thing which you yourself are declaring. So any question on that is valid. I can ask you anything on that because you yourself said your hobby is this. So it is better to keep it restricted to one hobby.
Yes. Yes, sir.
The more hobbies you give, the more learning you must have.
Yes, sir. And because I come from Kamrup Metro and my father is from North Lakhimpur, should I also look into much details about Majuli because it's related to missings? Is it advisable?
Missing as a whole, what are the their special characteristics as a community that you should know, expected to know. Have you been to a what kind of houses they live in?
Sanghar.
Sangha. You've been to a Sangha?
Yes, sir.
You have seen it, so you can describe it.
Okay, I think we have more candidates.
So sorry. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right, all the best. Do well.
All the best.
Thank you.